son Jesse and my daughter Rachel. What are we going to talk about today, Rach?
Hi, guys. I'm Rachel Kove. We're actually going to go a little off script today. So,
yeah, we were going to talk about Cobra Kai, but we're actually going to go and bring it right back to you, Dad. I want to get to know a little bit more about your history. I want people to really know you. I want them to know where you came from and your upbringing in New York and how you even got into the industry and how that all started to where you are now. So here we go.
It's always interesting to talk about yourself. It's like a therapy session, a radio therapy session.
You love it.
Yes, you do.
Love it.
Family has grown up around movies. That's how we connected the most, I feel like. Wouldn't you say so?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, this week was Christmas. Like, we just finished Christmas, which God bless everyone who has gotten through the holidays. But we watched Return of the King, the Lord of the Rings, and you and I are sobbing outside, sitting, watching Lord of the Rings. Like, that's how we connect, was through film and television. And you know me, I could be a pretty hard critic when it comes to film. Karate Kid it is an incredible film. And to this day, when I watch it, I get so inspired. And I feel the same way with Cobra Kai. Like, I'm addicted to Cobra Kai. When it's on, I cannot help but watch it.
We were literally watching it last night. We were going over notes for the show.
Yeah.
We were watching season 1 again, which I haven't actually seen probably in, I don't know, maybe a year, right? I mean, when's the last time when you watched season 1, Dad?
Season 1, a long time ago.
Right? I mean, it's kind of like, it was like refreshing to see it again, and even I remember we were watching episode 2, and, there was obviously references to Kreese, and I was excited again for them to even mention your name, even like, oh, is he coming back? Even though I knew he was going to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, what was that like for you, Dad?
Well,
you weren't on the show yet.
No, prior to episode 10, where they said you're going to, secure season 2 by your presence in episode 10, season 1. And I kept saying, well, why can't I come in on episode 5 or episode 6? And they said, no, you're going to just secure the continuation of the show and the fan participation by showing up in episode 10. So I just said, okay, I believe them, because they were very, very, they were extremely interesting writers. And when I met with them, they knew what I wanted to do. I didn't have to explain myself. So I thought I was secure in feeling that they were going to keep their promise, and they did, unquestionably. And when I appeared, I didn't think that much of it, but I come there and I say the real season's just begun, and I take a puff on that cigar, and I hear this, on the other side of the dojo, I hear this giant sigh of all the people sitting in Video Village. Oh. And I just said, what was that? And everybody was waiting for me, for this character, to come on and say the lines written. It was like a catharsis for all of those people. And that's when I realized that it's kind of interesting to see, what lies in the future for John Kreese, because we hadn't seen him in 30 years.
I remember you were talking about this when you went down to Atlanta to shoot. First off, I also remember when they first came to you and told you that they were doing a Cobra Kai for YouTube, and you and I looked at each other like, what are they making, like a little comedy sketch series for YouTube, And then you said, no, they're doing a series, and then we were very intrigued by it. And I remember you telling me that day. I remember when you went down to Atlanta to shoot that scene. I think you were saying that there was like a certain energy that was on the set that day, right? Like the crew, everybody was like, I mean, a lot of these people, and because I was in Cobra Kai, and everybody is so excited to work on Cobra Kai. And you said that the crew was just, they were like little kids seeing you and Johnny again, you and Billy Zabka, who plays, Johnny Lawrence, on set together again, right? I mean, there was an excitement in the air. It was like the rock stars backstage before they go on the stage, right?
Yeah, it was uncanny, and it was a bit of a phenomenon, because, that's something, as an actor, your work is in the past, and you only think about what you're doing presently or in the future. And I remember your mother seeing Karate Kid. I was out of town, and she went to the premiere back in 1984, and I said, well, how was the movie? She says, oh, the movie was great. I said, well, how was I? And she says, well, you're okay.
Wait. This is a first, because I've never heard this. Yeah. You're telling me that Mommy.
Yeah.
We call her Mommy.
We call her Mommy. I'm a grown man. I call her Mommy. And yes, I'm sitting here across the table from my daddy, who's amazing.
We get made fun of all the time because we still call our mom mommy and daddy.
Yep. I shoot guns, I ride horses, chop wood, do all that stuff.
And you call your daddy daddy and mommy mommy.
That's right. He's my father. But wait, so mommy went to, right? Doesn't it sound funny? Say it.
It does.
Our mother, Vivian, went to the premiere without you?
Yeah, I was in Eugene, Oregon, shooting a movie of the week. And I remember it was 1984 in June, I think. I couldn't go. I just couldn't go. I was working.
Were you upset about it?
No, I wasn't that upset. Remember, this is another heavy that I did. This was a heavy I worked for the first movie for 2 weeks. And we didn't know what we had. We really
Right, you
did.
laughed at the name of it, right? The Karate Kid, you thought almost was
Karate
funny.
Kid, yeah, we didn't even like the title. When we were shooting it, we didn't like the title. It was kind of
You didn't like the title Karate
uncharacteristic.
Kid?
No, we didn't.
Wow,
Nobody
that's
did.
crazy.
I can
No,
see
it's
that,
not-
right? It
Yeah, I
kind of
could see
sounds
that.
kind of like
Yeah, a little
maybe
cheesy.
like a
Sounds like a
Disney
Bruce
thing
Lee
or something.
movie,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
you
love
know?
Disney, by the way, but
But what was exciting was that, Jerry Weintraub, may he rest in peace, he saw an article on bullying and came up with his vision and brought in the writer who was fantastic, Robert Kamen. And Robert Kamen wrote all these lines, wax on, wax off, sweep the leg, no mercy. And, we're still saying them today, which constitutes such a classic source that these words came from. And just like, may the force be with you, or play it against Sam from
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry, from Tombstone. So the bottom line is, usually those lines that you repeat for decades are from brilliantly written movies.
When you read those, though, like when you first read the script, did you think that they were brilliant?
No, I didn't. I really didn't. That's why I just, a year later, I said to your mother, I said, well, how was I? And how was the movie? And she says, oh, it's just terrific. And then I just, came right back and saying, how was I? And she said, you're okay.
So you really had no idea the impact that John Kreese would have on the world.
No, not at all. To me, it was just at the time. And John Kreese, if you think about it, in the movie was one-dimensional. He's only multi-dimensional in the series.
Because the devil is crossing me.